Before the world knew her name, before red carpets and flashing cameras, Sydney Sweeney was just a girl growing up under the wide skies of Spokane, Washington. She wasn't born into fame nor surrounded by opportunity. Her family struggled, her mother a lawyer, her father in the medical field, but money was always tight. Sydney once said, "We lived paycheck to paycheck. My parents gave up everything so I could chase my dream." That dream began early. At 12 years old, Sydney watched an indie film crew shooting in her town. She became obsessed, not with being famous, but with creating characters. She prepared a 5-year business plan for her parents, a full PowerPoint presentation on why she should be allowed to pursue acting. Her determination was so strong that her parents packed up and drove to Los Angeles. They lived in a motel for months, sacrificing everything so Sydney could audition. But Hollywood wasn't kind at first. Audition after audition, rejection after rejection, Sydney faced the harsh reality of a dream that breaks most before it makes them. Still, she kept going. Her secret? A deep, quiet fire, not ego, but purpose. She once said, "If I wasn't going to give 100%, there was no point in even trying." Her persistence paid off. Minor roles in Criminal Minds, Pretty Little Liars, and The Handmaid's Tale showed her potential. But it wasn't until HBO's Euphoria that the world truly saw what she could do. Sydney didn't just act, she transformed. Her character, Cassie Howard, became one of the most complex, heart-wrenching portrayals of youth in modern TV. The show turned her into a global name, but also exposed her to something darker: criticism, judgment, and a world where fame often costs more than it gives. Behind the spotlight, Sydney was still that girl from Spokane, grounded, private, and surprisingly shy. While others chased celebrity life, she stayed home building cars with her dad, reading scripts, and working on a passion project few people know about: her own production company. Yes, Sydney founded 50/50 Films, with a mission to create stories where women have control, depth, and power. She said, "If I'm not creating opportunities, then what's the point of having success? It's not just ambition, it's vision." And that's where Sydney stands apart. Beneath the perfect looks and rising fame, she's a woman of layers, disciplined, focused, and far more strategic than people assume. From small-town beginnings to global stardom, Sydney Sweeney didn't stumble into success. She built it, one relentless choice at a time. Fame didn't crash into Sydney overnight. It crept in slowly, one audition, one heartbreak, one silent victory at a time. When she stepped onto the Euphoria set, she was still the newcomer. Surrounded by big personalities and bold performances, Sydney's challenge was simple: be unforgettable. And she was. Her portrayal of Cassie Howard wasn't just acting, it was exposure of every raw nerve a young woman hides behind mascara and smiles. Cassie's need for love, her self-destruction, her fragile hope, all of it. Critics called her a revelation. Viewers saw themselves in her pain. The internet crowned her an icon. But while the world saw the glitter, Sydney felt the gravity. Fame, she learned, has a price: privacy. Every photo, every word, every breath became a headline. Her personal life turned into a guessing game for millions of strangers. Still, she kept her composure. She used the noise as fuel. Instead of chasing the spotlight, she mastered it. Then came the White Lotus, a different world, a different test. Her role as Olivia Mossbacher was razor-sharp, witty, and quietly venomous. It showed another side of Sydney, the thinker, the observer, the actress who could disappear into intellect instead of emotion. 2 Emmy nominations later, the industry finally understood. Sydney Sweeney wasn't a one-note beauty. She was a powerhouse. Yet, behind the red carpet smiles was exhaustion. Long shoots, sleepless nights, pressure to be perfect. She confessed once, softly, "Sometimes it's hard to separate who I am from who people want me to be." To survive, Sydney created boundaries. She turned down roles that didn't align with her values. She focused on her production company, 50/50 Films, building a future where she could tell her own stories. She even started producing her own series, proving she wasn't just a performer, she was a creator. And while tabloids obsessed over her image, Sydney invested in her craft acting workshops, stunt training, script development. Few know she trains like an athlete before major roles, memorizing pages, studying emotional tone, dissecting every line. In interviews, she never talks about fame. She talks about work. Because for Sydney, fame is a side effect, not the goal. Her rise wasn't an accident. It was the result of years of quiet discipline, a relentless hunger to grow even when the world misunderstood her. Sydney Sweeney is more than a Hollywood story. She's proof that brilliance isn't loud, it's patient. And every time she steps on screen, she isn't chasing applause. She's reclaiming her narrative. Behind the lights, behind the perfect makeup and crafted smile, there's a Sydney Sweeney the world rarely sees. A version far quieter, more thoughtful, and, in many ways, more mysterious. While most celebrities spend their free time chasing events and cameras, Sydney disappears into something entirely unexpected: engines and grease. Yes, she builds cars. It's not a rumor or a PR stunt. Sydney actually restores vintage vehicles by hand. In her garage, surrounded by tools and oil stains, she becomes someone else. A girl who doesn't care about Hollywood, fame, or likes. She once said with a grin, "When I'm fixing a car, nobody's watching. It's just me and the machine." Her first big project was a 1969 Ford Bronco, which she completely rebuilt, part by part, bolt by bolt, and later showcased on her TikTok series Side's Garage. It's not about money. It's about control, turning chaos into creation, something that has followed her through every stage of her life. A mind that never stops. What many don't know is that Sydney is highly intellectual. She was a Strata student, and she's still obsessed with learning. She keeps journals for every character she plays, filled with pages of backstory, emotional notes, and personal reflections. For Euphoria, her Cassie journal had over 100 pages of emotional mapping. It's her secret weapon, a private world that no one sees. I create their childhoods, their secrets, their favorite songs, she once revealed. That's how they become real to me. Her method is strange, personal, and almost spiritual. Like she channels her characters instead of just performing them. Behind the confidence, there's fragility. Sydney has openly admitted she suffers from anxiety and self-doubt. Not about her talent, but about her worth. She said once, "I don't come from money. I don't have family in the industry. Sometimes I still feel like I'm one bad day away from losing it all." That fear pushes her to work harder, to plan ahead, to stay grounded. But it also isolates her. She avoids Hollywood parties, rarely drinks, and keeps a tiny circle of friends. Her family remains her anchor. Her mom still visits sets, her dad helps her with the garage, and her brother is her quiet supporter behind the scenes. Sydney's mystery isn't about secrecy, it's about contradiction. She can be glamorous and goofy, serious and sweet, confident and shy all at once. She has said she doesn't trust easily. In love and friendship, she's cautious. A side effect of growing up in a world that loves to use and discard people. Those close to her describe her as an old soul trapped in a young star's body. She meditates daily, keeps handwritten notes to herself, and believes in manifestation, not as magic, but as focus. Her favorite quote, which she keeps written in her notebook, says, "Don't chase opportunities, build them." And that's exactly what she's doing. 1. She begins by discussing the importance of drinking water. 2. She starts the day with a shower. After showering, she makes sure to moisturize her face and skin. Because she has combination skin, she doesn't choose cleansers that are too strong or too weak. It's very important for her to avoid flaking, as otherwise her makeup might not stay on. Her first step in cleansing her skin is an oil-based cleanser. Sydney, who has struggled with acne scars for a long time, removes her makeup with a cleansing oil. She applies the oil-based cleanser to dry skin, removing environmental dirt, and then rinses with water. Using an oil-based cleanser moisturizes her skin first. Then, she removes her makeup with Vaseline. Vaseline is a must-have, especially for removing mascara and eyeliner. After gently removing her eye makeup with a cotton ball, she moves on to the next steps. She finishes her skincare routine in an unconventional way. After cleansing, she moisturizes. After moisturizing, she reapplies a skincare serum. Moisturizing is usually the last step in a skincare routine, so this beautiful actress's glow stems from that. After removing all her makeup, she exfoliates. She's usually very careful to exfoliate once a week. She says she prefers daily exfoliating products because she has combination skin. Exfoliating to remove dead skin, achieve a smoother look, and deep cleanse is one of her essential skincare routines. Of course, sunscreen is as essential as everyone else. She admits, a bit shyly, that she didn't use much sunscreen before. She also mentions that despite her sensitive skin, she didn't pay much attention to it, and the consequences were a bit harsh. Now that she uses sunscreen, she feels much better. Night cream varies depending on your skin's needs. Your skin's needs determine your night cream use. She prepares for sleep with a dermatologist-prescribed ointment or a long-lasting moisturizer. Hyaluronic acid serum is one of her miraculous Korean beauty tips. For her, serum application is the foundation of her skincare routine. Hyaluronic acid serum is her go-to for neutralizing dryness. She also says she enjoys using products from Korean beauty brands. She specifically supplements her skincare routine with red light therapy. It's been found to be very beneficial for improving skin tone, treating active acne, and reducing inflammation. She's a big fan of both microcurrent and red light technology. She's as meticulous about her sleep routine as she is about her skincare. She also emphasizes that she's very careful to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. She laughs about how she hates the dark circles under her eyes that often appear due to lack of sleep. While the world debates her image, Sydney Sweeney quietly builds an empire. One car, one script, one story at a time. She's not just surviving Hollywood, she's rewriting it. In 2022, news broke of her engagement to Jonathan Davino, a Chicago-based businessman far from the chaos of Hollywood. They'd been together quietly for years, long before the fame, long before Euphoria turned her into a global name. Jonathan isn't an actor, influencer, or producer. He's the kind of man who avoids red carpets and interviews. A private partner who gives Sydney exactly what she craves: stability. "I want to build a home, have a family, and live a real life," she said in an interview. Because fame isn't forever, love is. Still, fame tests every relationship. With every role she takes, every photo that goes viral, Sydney has to balance being a star and being herself. She once admitted that she dreams of having kids, but only when her world finally slows down. Behind her soft-spoken, sexy charm lies a keen business acumen. Sydney doesn't just act. She negotiates, produces, and invests. Her salary for Euphoria reportedly started at around $25,000 per episode and increased each season as her fame grew. It's said her salary doubled in season 2. For The White Lotus, she earned approximately $350,000 from the series, with bonuses following award nominations. However, her biggest breakthrough came not from acting, but from brand deals and producing. Sydney has partnered with Armani Beauty, Miu Miu, Laneige, and Ford. Each deal ranges from $500,000 to $2 million. Her production company, 50/50 Films, has signed multiple development deals with HBO and Amazon. With film projects like Anyone But You and Madam Web, her annual income is estimated at between $5 million and $8 million. As of 2025, his net worth is reported to be around $15 million, and that figure is steadily rising. Yet she doesn't flaunt it. Her purchases are modest: a classic Los Angeles home, a few cars, and her favorite project, restoring vintage vehicles in her backyard. She once said, "Money gives me freedom, not fame. I want to earn my life, not rent it." Sydney isn't the typical Hollywood success story. She's not chasing luxury, she's chasing legacy. A girl from Spokane who turned rejection into fire and fire into gold. Behind every perfect photo, there's discipline. Behind every tear on screen, there's truth. Behind every glamorous headline, there's a woman still searching for peace. She's beautiful, yes, but it's the kind of beauty that burns slow, the kind that's built from courage, pain, and persistence. "I've learned that you can't control what people see," she once whispered, "but you can control what you create." And that's Sydney's real secret creation, of her career, of her peace, of her story. "If you ever doubt yourself," she once said, "remember that no one's path is straight, but every step, even the wrong ones, lead you somewhere worth going." He transformed silence into power, dreams into destiny. From ashes to legends, every story has a rhythm. You just have to listen deeply.